Agent skills, MCP, CLI, plugins, artifacts, what is going on with the world. Let us discuss each one of these, when you should use what, and give you live examples and demos of all of them. Starting with skills is a single instruction file that tells your AI agent what to do. For example, you have your personal AI assistant, but he does not know anything about how to create beautiful presentation, do some mathematical calculation, or create a PDF file. So what you will do is, you will give your AI agent these particular skills on how to create beautiful presentation, another skill for mathematical calculation, and another skill for creating PDF file. So now your agent is primed with all of these skills, and whenever you ask, hey, can you help me with creating this beautiful presentation, it will load this skill automatically when the task call for it and will create a beautiful presentation for you. Let's go to our Claude AI to run these skills in action. You can easily call skill by inputting / and your skill name. Plus, you can also browse your current skills by clicking on this plus button, and you will find this option of skills, and you will see all the installed skills in your Claude AI chat. Let's select this LinkedIn post reviewer, and you will see on the right hand side a small description on what this skill does, which is review a LinkedIn copy and flag every signal that was written by AI. So let's give our draft of our LinkedIn post. So here is my draft, and now I will call our skill by using / LinkedIn post reviewer. I will run this through our reviewer skill, and you can see it is loading our skill in chat right now, and using our skill it will review our LinkedIn copy. So here is the verdict. It is mostly human and the score is 34 out of 100. These were the phrases or patterns that seems like an AI slop, and how I should rewrite it to sound like more human. The best bit about skills is they will only load when it's needed or when you have called for it. For example, it will not load this LinkedIn post reviewer skill if I am doing any other coding task or any other sort of activities. It will only load when I have asked specifically in the chat, or it will automatically load in your sessions when it seems like a perfect fit for a task or you have used some keywords. For example, if you open another chat, use that exact LinkedIn draft, and this time we are not going to call skill specifically. We are not going to use / and enter the skill name. Instead, we are just going to use some keywords like, can you review my LinkedIn post draft? And this time it will automatically load the skill because it thinks that it is the right fit for the job here. I will run through this our LinkedIn post reviewer skill. So it has automatically loaded our skill and given us the verdict. Now let's open our skill file so that you understand what actually goes inside that skill.md file. I have opened our skill.md file. Here is the brief description, the version, what tools it is allowed like read, write, edit, and then the entire instruction of your skill. So here I have listed out all the things that I want this skill to perform on my Claude AI. What you are looking at, these are particular groups that tells that it is an AI slop. Words like transform, unleash, unlock, and I have segmented into different groups. And lastly, it should score my entire LinkedIn post. So you can say at the first, it is scoring our LinkedIn post and dividing them into different groups. The process it should go through, first of all, it is to read the post carefully from top to bottom, then scan against every group, and rewrite the LinkedIn post in much more human way. Now the best part about using skills is you will get specific output formats that you always want. For example, I don't want to get new outputs every single time in my response. I always want to get output in this specific format. So you can also define the output format that you want. So first of all, it should give you the verdict and the score. So here at the first we have the score, what gave it away. So we have the groups like this, rewrite line, and what change. So your output will be exactly like that. Now last but not least, this is an optional part. You can also give it a working example so that it has full idea what you're actually looking for by implementing or using this skill. From here, you can easily update the skills as well. And if you want to view this skill in form of a MD file or markdown format, you can click on code, and here is your entire skill file. The example of the skill file that I have shown here is, which is LinkedIn post reviewer, is custom built by me for my use case only. It is not going to publicly available for everyone, and that's the best part about this skill. You don't have to wait for anyone to ship a particular skill or have to wait for Anthropic to build these skills for you. You can also build custom skills within matter of seconds just by typing in plain English what you want your skill to do, and it will create that custom skill file for you within matter of minutes. Just to show you another example, I have made this another custom skill which is helping me with Instagram caption. So I have given it the context or the transcription of my Instagram reel. So this is what I am speaking inside that reel, and what I want to do is I want it to create Instagram caption for me. So I will call this skill IG caption for this, and it will read the entire transcript or the summary of my reel and give me 3 unique Instagram caption under 500 letters or characters every single time. Let's run this skill again. So let's post our LinkedIn draft that we have entered before, and now we want to run IG caption on this. Just simply type / and IG caption. And there you go, it has created 3 different IG captions by using our IG caption skill. But if you don't want to create custom skills like I did, and if you want to use skills from Anthropic or another developers, you can easily do that as well. So click on this plus button. Let's head over to manage skills. And these are the skills that were developed by me. So the author is you, which basically means these are the custom skills that I have built for myself, and the rest were built by Anthropic team like MCP builder, canvas design, theme factory, etc. Now in order to install these skills, click on browse button. This is a skill directory from Anthropic, and you can install any of the skills you like from here. So let's install the skill of learn. And there you go, this skill file is installed inside your account and will automatically load when the task calls for it. But the problem here is there are very limited skills that we have inside our Anthropic directory. So what we will do is we will go to this skill directory marketplace over the web. So we have this directory of Claude agent skills divided into different categories of what you are actually looking for. So let's say I'm looking to download some skill about writing and research. And here are all the famous skills with amount of GitHub stars they have. I can easily open them from here. Then install that skill file inside my setup. So let's click on download. Now let's head back to our Claude session, and we need to install this. So we will click on add and upload our skill file. Let's drag and drop that here. Awesome. Uploaded content research writer, and here we have it. Therefore, definitely check out Skill Marketplace over the web, and you will find the skills that you are actually looking for without you having to build the custom way. But let's say you want to build custom skills on your own, you can easily do that as well just by chatting with Claude in plain English what you want your skill to do. So click on add and click on create with Claude. Let's create a skill together. First, ask me what the skill should do. So it is using the inbuilt skill creator skill from Anthropic directory. What should this skill do? Help me with Instagram captions. Then the second question is the keywords it should kick in or load in, and what output should look like. So let's give these 3 output as an example, and then we can also add a note. It should always create 3 different Instagram caption under 500 letters. So we have given it a rough idea on what our skill should do. Perfect, that's everything I need. And now it is drafting the skill file for us. Awesome, the skill file is done. So let's open our .md file. Here is our description, then instruction, and the output format. Option A, option B, and option C. Now let's give our context of our video. So we will use that LinkedIn and write or use IG caption skill for this. Running the skill on this, and here are 3 caption styles. And that's how you can create any custom skill just by chatting with Claude in plain English. You can also run these skills files across anywhere you like. For example, inside your Claude Code, if you're using inside Claude AI in the web version, if you're using ChatGPT Codex, you can load all of the skills file with any AI coding agent that you're using. Right now, I am inside our Claude Code session. So I have opened my File Explorer, and inside .claude, we have the skills. So right now I have installed 4 skills inside this GitHub repo. For example, Repurpose Studio, and we have the skill.md file. This is the name, description, and the instruction and output format. So let's call this skill file by using its name. The name is Repurpose Shorts, and here we have it /repurpose short. And here is our response. What's the folder path of the project? And inside our skill, you can see always ask Manthan first about the folder path without never guessing it or auto picking up yourself. Let's summarize skills before we move ahead to the next topic. Skills are the best thing that has happened to Claude because it is going to save you so much of your time re-explaining the same thing over and over again and systemize the output and response of your AI agent. Now I don't want to make this video unnecessarily longer just talking about skills. That's why I have created another video on how to create custom skills by using Claude Code, and the example that we have took is sound effect skills. So definitely make sure to check it out. Now it's time to deep dive into the hottest thing under the sun right now, which is MCP or Model Context Protocol. In technical terms, it is a client-server architecture with agreed upon endpoints. But what does that mean? It basically means that MCP is a standardized way for your LLMs to use tools. Inside any AI application and LLMs, for our example Claude AI, MCP acts as a universal connector, which means that it allows Claude to securely access and work with your data where it already lives. So you don't have to manually copy and paste between different apps. Here is one infographic to explain this much better way. So here at the center we have our Claude application. Now for you to retrieve files from Google Drive or you want to fetch any of your Notion page, you don't have to manually copy and paste data anywhere. You can just simply ask Claude, hey, can you fetch this file from my G Drive, or hey, can you get me this Notion page, and you will have that right here inside a Claude application. But if you still don't understand how MCP works, don't worry, just open your Claude AI and head over to connectors in order to connect our MCP servers. For example, we are using our Canva server. So I have one design that I want my Claude AI to have full context about it. So without me having to manually copy paste any of this data or take any of this screenshot, what I will do is I will just pass on the link to my Claude session. And I will say, hey, can you fetch and grab what is inside my Canva design? Let's click on enter, and since we have our Canva connector available inside our chat, it will be able to fetch from my Canva account. So I will grab the content from that Canva design for you. So right now you can see it is calling tools, getting design content, and here is the big list of AI agent tools and platform we have inside our Canva design. So if you open it again, yes, we have SynthFlow operator, HeyGen Super AGI, and N8 and Relevance for no-code tools. Therefore, you can understand that you can get any of the current information of a Canva design right inside your Claude chat. But the best part is you can also modify and edit any of the existing info inside your Canva designs without you having to even open the Canva dashboard. Just to show you how tool calling actually works inside your LLMs. First of all, our natural query was get Canva design content, right? That's what we entered in our prompt. So what it will do is it will load all the tools that it has and find the relevant tools it needs. So match tools are 5 Canva tools, and the first tool name is get design content. So it will use that particular tool call, in our example get designs, and fetch all the text element we have inside our design. Now let's make an edit. Let's say we want to change this name to AI automation directory. Hey, can you change the name of AI agent directory to AI automation directory? Or let's say no code tool directory. Now what we are doing is we are modifying or editing our current design. So you can see it is using the tool call of editing design. Find the AI agent directory text so that I can rename it to no code directory text. Awesome. So it will change the AI agent to no code. Right now it is performing this editing operation as we speak. And it is done with the changing, and it has also given us a small preview. So let's open that. And yes, we have no code directory. Now let's open our Canva design, and there you go. Without you even having to open your Canva dashboard or manually edit anything inside your design, you can do all just by typing in simple prompt inside your Claude AI. That's the power of MCP or Model Context Protocol. You can give LLM access to your current tool and tech stack without you having to manually copy paste data between different apps. Therefore, in order to make your Claude MCP boosted, first of all figure out which tool stack that you are currently using. In my example, let's say I'm using Apollo, I'm using Canva, I'm using Gamma, Gmail, then we have Lucia, Vercel, Stripe. So I have connected all of them with my Claude with the MCP servers. For example, you might be using Notion, you might be using third-party application. Now in order to connect with these MCP servers, head over to connectors, and this is the list of all the MCP servers you have already connected. But to add more, click on add and browse connectors. And then search for the tools that you want to connect with. In my example, I want to connect with my Supabase. Click on plus. Then I have to log in with my Supabase account. and give access to Claude. But before that, make sure you read the permission that your Claude AI will have. So right now it will have permission to read and write, my database, edge functions, environment and project. Let's click on authorize. And that's how, without you even having to add any API keys, you have connected your Supabase inside your Claude session. Now let's see inside our connectors. If we scroll down, we have Supabase added inside our chat. Can you fetch the number of users we have inside our DB? Therefore, it will first find the right tools. Now let's click on always allow. Here it will list out all the projects I have inside my Supabase account. You have got 2 projects. I will pull the user count from the production one. Let's click on allow. It will execute this SQL command on its own and get the number of users I have. In a similar manner, let me give you the most used example of MCP servers. It can be either Gmail, Google Drive, Google Calendar, etc. Let's use our Google Calendar and say, when do I have next meeting in my Google Calendar? It will find the right tools, list out all the events inside my calendar. And my next actual meeting is tomorrow with Beehive team. But now let's say the connector that you want to connect is not inside this Anthropic directory. You can also connect by using custom connector. So let's close this. Click on connectors, click on add and use add custom connector. I will name this as AI. Then the remote MCP server URL for that and your authorization. But if you still don't understand how you can connect by using custom connectors, watch out for the next 2 lectures where we have used custom connector for AI Apollo to connect inside our Claude session. Now you might be asking, can we use MCP connector inside our Claude Code codex? Yes, MCP is available to any MCP compatible applications. Right now I am inside Claude Code and you can see I want to connect my Claude AI or Claude Code session to this tool called Sandcastles to analyze all of the Instagram Reels or TikTok videos. So what I will do is I will connect Sandcastle inside my Claude Code session by using MCP server. So just simply type /MCP. And it will list out all the MCP servers you have inside your application. So I have Brave Search, then Magic UI Design, and this is the one with Sandcastle. And since it is already connected, Claude AI or Claude Code session will fetch all the data from Sandcastle without me having to open any dashboard, nor have to copy paste anything and work right inside my Claude Code session with all the data I have inside my Sandcastle. Isn't it crazy? And that's the power of using MCP server. Now if you go to the left hand side inside your file explorer, you will see this .mcp.json file. And this is an example of Brave Search MCP. So I have the name of the server, which is Brave Search, the arguments and my Brave API key right over here. Therefore, definitely check out the next lecture where you will learn how you can connect MCP servers from your Claude desktop application. Now to summarize MCP, it is what gives your Claude or any AI application to plug with outside applications and data with standardized and structured way. For example, Gmail, Drive, Canva, Gamma, without you having to open those applications at all. And nowadays, most of this application will have MCP server so that you can easily plug and play with other AI applications. But now coming to the confusing part for most people, which are plugins and what is the difference between skill and a plugin. To simply put, a skill is a single instruction file, right? That's it. You give your instruction to your AI agent on what to do. But a plugin is a bundle of skills plus tool calls plus hooks all packed together in one package named plugins. Again repeating the difference between a skill and plugin. Skill is a single instruction file, whereas plugin is a bundle you install in one go that has bunch of skills plus MCP servers plus commands together for any team toolkit wired up ready. In our example, we have plugin of finance, we have HR, operation. Let's open our finance plugin. This plugin is officially built by Anthropic team to streamline finance and accounting workflows. It bundles all of these 8 skills together with connectors or tool calls like this and hooks running at shell level commands. So you can say it's a level deeper than just normal skills. In order to set up plugins, head over to your Claude desktop application, go to settings, click on plugins, click on browse, and install any of these official Anthropic plugins you might need. But if you are not able to find any for your use case, go to partners and you will find all of the plugins built by third-party partners. But still, if you're not able to find any of the plugins that you want to use, you can also create plugins on your own, again just by typing in simple prompts inside a Claude Code session. So right now I am inside my Tilted project and I have created this plugin called Tilted SEO, which comprises of these 3 skills, this one hook, and in my example I did not need any MCP tools, that's why it is 0. Therefore, instead of just installing one standoff skills, you can pack all of them together with hooks and MCP servers and package them into one package called plugins. Then you can also manage all of your plugins right from a chat. So just type /plugins, click on manage plugins. These are the plugins that are installed globally inside my system. So we have Claude Code Setup, Code Review is a famous plugin, Front-end Design, you might have heard about this plugin. As well as you can also install available plugins from the marketplace. We have Context 7, which is a very famous plugin. Then we have Figma, Telegram, etc. Therefore, to summarize, a plugin is a bundle of skills, MCP tools, and commands packed together into one package. And yes, it's a level deeper than just mere skills. Now let's discuss what is an CLI, where you can use it, and what is the difference between MCP and CLI. CLI basically means command line interface, where your Claude Code actually works from a terminal. So CLI can access, modify, read, edit your real files and can write into repos, run commands, debug, and ship straight away from your shell commands. Therefore, head over to your Claude Code session and just type /CLI. And in case none of them pops up into your options, don't worry, I will show you how you can install CLIs from a Claude Code session. For example, we want to use Vercel CLI and not Vercel MCP server. I will let you know why. So let's use Vercel CLI and get how many projects we have inside our account. The Vercel CLI is loaded. So it will directly check with our Vercel account from shell level commands. So npx Vercel and list out all the projects we have. So right now it is inside my project, which is Manthan Patel. And if you open this, there are actually 3 projects inside my Vercel account. So here is the project name, production URL, and last updated. So let's open our Vercel. Here you can see we have all of these 3 projects. Now there is another way to access all of this information, which is by using Vercel MCP server. But the problem with MCP servers is they are very token heavy, which means for the same request they will consume 5x more token, whereas CLI is just very straightforward and will do its work without consuming unnecessary tool call tokens that you get normally inside any MCP server. Therefore, I always prefer to use CLIs over MCP server in case CLIs are present for that particular tool. So let me show you all the CLIs that I am using right now inside my Tilted project. Therefore, we have CLI of Vercel, Higgsfield, Firecall, Resend, Anyten, Stripe, Supabase, GitHub, Agent Browser, etc. Now to install these CLIs, just head over to Google, type the name of the tool that you want to use, and just simply at the end use the word CLI. In our example, let's say Higgsfield CLI. So in order to install this CLI, we also have the option of skill as well as MCP. But in this example, we want to prefer CLIs over any MCP servers. So I want to install and plug inside my agent. So I will just copy this, paste it here. Since Higgsfield CLI was already installed, it has updated to the latest version. Now I can just say, can you create me an image of monkey on elephant? I will use Higgsfield CLI to generate that image. It is right now listing out all of the image generation models. Let's open it out. So we have Kling, Nano Banana, Multi-Image to 3D, etc. Then it is sending out request to generate monkey on elephant image with Nano Banana Pro. It will list out your user ID, the name of your plan, and credit left. So let me download the image. So it is automatically downloading the image. So we have monkey on elephant image right over here. And that's the best part. You don't even have to open your Higgsfield dashboard or you do any of the prompting manually. Everything can be done from shell commands. If we refresh our Higgsfield browser, here is the image. Then the image is generated and saved to your download folders. You can also grab the direct link from here. Therefore, definitely prefer CLI over any MCP server, but in case the CLIs are not present, you can use this GitHub repo which is CLI anything to convert or make all of the softwares agent native. Now last but not least, the building block of any AI system are artifacts. It is what hand bakes to you, which basically means that it will give you a live preview of whatever it is building right inside the session. Either it can be a landing page, it can be an Excel file, PDF file, or anything like that. The best part is you can generate live artifacts right inside a Claude session and you can share it with anyone you want. In my example, I want to create an animation for this particular line. Everyone selling a LinkedIn courses these days, so for this line I want to create an animation. So it will automatically use any language it want to use, for instance React animation, and will preview on the right hand side this current animation or live artifacts that it has built out for you. In a similar manner, we have this another animation. Let's click on refresh. From here, you can easily screen record this animation and use it in any of the videos you want. In case you want to download this as a code base, you can download this artifact as well. Last example is this one. Let me refresh. This is actually amazing animation that it has generated right inside my chat on how vector data works. Now I can easily click on publish. And share it inside the description so that you can easily preview this live or public artifact inside the system. Therefore, definitely enable artifact inside your Claude settings so Claude can handbacks to you live output right inside chat, for example a working app, chart, document, diagram, or any animation. To enable artifacts, go to your Claude setting, click on capabilities, scroll down, and inside visuals, make sure artifacts is enabled as well as inline visualization and AI powered artifacts. But now you might be wondering what's the difference between a live artifact versus inline visualization. So inline visualization will be happening right inside your chat. For example, hey, can you create me an inline visualization for compounding effect? It will create interactive visualization right inside chat, and yes, it is interactive, which means you can play around in real time. So it is in compounding effect chart, and right now it is doing in AED, which means dirhams, as I am right now in Dubai. Can you create me an inline visualization for the solar system? Awesome, here is an interactive animation for our solar system. So I can increase the speed, disable the labels, you can also pause and play, and let's click on any of this planet to see this in detail. So we have Saturn, the orbit years is around 30 years. We have Jupiter, Neptune, and that's how you can use Claude's inline animation to generate interactive UI components, build built-in visualization tools, or utilize code environments right inside your chat. Just to conclude this video, these are the building blocks for any AI system. First, we have agent skills, then MCP server or model context protocol, plugins which bundle multiple skills, MCP servers, hooks commands packed together into one package. We have CLI or command line interface, and last but not least, artifacts which are live interactive output by using Claude. Moving forward to the next lecture, we have separate and individual videos for each one, like how you can create custom skills, custom MCP servers, how you can use different plugins right inside your AI workflows. So make sure to check all of them out.